Heck yes, brothers. We are back with the Mintcast. This is episode 3. I'm the guest, Robert Katz.
And I'm the host, Aiden O'Meara. What the fuck's up?
Not much. We're about to go into the review section.
All right.
Where we will be reviewing
albums, tracks, movies, all that.
Yes.
So we're going to, as always, begin with the albums. And I think the first one we want to talk about is the new 88RISING tape, Head in the Clouds. It's a big kind of collab, all these different label mates. Rich Brian, Joe G, the Higher Brothers, August 08, Nicky. What'd you think, man?
Keith Ape.
Keith Ape, yeah.
I really enjoyed it for the most part. There are a couple tracks wasn't really feeling, such as the second track on the album. Which,
Red Rubies?
Yeah, Red Rubies.
I was a fan, but yeah, I can see why.
I didn't like Red Rubies that much, but
I loved the beat on that. I can see where you're coming from, like, because I know you didn't like the kind of the mumbling on it.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit mumbly.
Yeah.
I don't know, but most of the album I just thought was really good.
I thought Nicky was the standout on this
agree.
record with I Want In, Plans, just a great vocalist kind of lended it.
Yeah.
War Paint was
great. Really good,
and then rap wise, Rich Brian really brought it on this fucking tape.
Yes.
And
History
also
was fantastic.
History's great.
His verse on Midsummer Madness
is great.
Great.
Let It Go, I think is fantastic. He's an on there, but still.
Yeah.
I loved Block Boy's feature on that. I think like Block Boy weirdly brought it on this with his two features on Let It Go and then on Peach Jam, which I didn't love Peach Jam.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought Joji in particular felt really off on that. His singing wasn't on point there, but Block Boy's verse is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And
sure.
just like some of his bars, and they're just so cold blooded on Let It Go in particular, talking about like shoot a guy in the head just to see his thoughts. It's like it just sounds so fucking hard.
Yeah.
His style works on a beat. Like we criticized him, Nick and I did, when we saw his freestyle, because he sounds so awkward off beat. He doesn't work, but when you put him on a beat, he can flow like it's fucking nothing. And I even didn't hate his album. Semi, I thought was fairly decent.
All right. I never listened to that.
It's okay. There's some distracting features on the first half, but the second half he really kicks into gear.
Nice.
But otherwise, I thought it was like a fairly like a solid click kind of a album. Yeah. Because those are hard to do. Because you got like a lot of competing egos.
Yeah.
You've seen it fuck up time and time again. You look at the Cruel Summer Good Music's tape. Is just it feels like 30 different people that all wanted to make an album, and they've all got their own solo ambitions, and it just didn't work. But on here, it seems that they're all very close, very tight knit, so that it actually worked in unison.
Like all good friends.
Yeah.
Seems, so yeah,
it's a good tape.
I agree.
Yeah.
Great.
The next one, I don't think Robert's heard.
Which one?
Right. The Tree.
Oh no.
By Laurie
I
McKenna.
have not heard that. I haven't heard all of it.
So Laurie McKenna, iconic singer-songwriter, comes in with, I believe, her 11th studio album. I thought it was very good. I haven't been a Laurie McKenna fan with her last few records, but she has a lot of emotion on here. Her singing is finally back on point, and it's something that's coming from like a very genuine new place in her life. A lot of tracks like A Mother Never Rests felt very honest and open to me. It's a very solid record. I would recommend it. It's a good comeback for her. I think we're going to do the record that Robert has heard last, so I'll go quickly through two more. All That Reckoning by the Cowboy Junkies. I used to love the Cowboy Junkies. They're a really great experimental folk English group, but with their last few records, this is like their 15th or 16th, something like that. They've been around since like the 80s. This one I thought in particular was just very dull. It sounded kind of lost in itself, like they were going for a concept album, but kind of lost themselves about halfway through. It's not awful, it just feels very just confused and not knowing what it wants to do. But again, I mean, their singing's still great. They still have a lot of clearly like they're still like left to their own devices, which is good and bad. Clearly this is their record, with the good and the bad of that. And then the weakest record of the five of them, but today, is Rolling Papers 2, Wiz Khalifa's new tape. Very long, I barely even finished it because it's just painful. I haven't heard a good project from WIZ in what feels like a decade. And this is the Pittsburgh rapper's weakest tape yet, I think. He sounds dulled, he sounds mumbly, he sounds high out of his fucking mind, which usually is endearing with a WIZ tape, but here he just sounds like he's barely the fucking like register on the mic. Like he just sounds so fucking perked out and zanned out, and he's just such a lazy writer at this point. You like that one line that's been kind of blowing up right now, the one about like I'm so high I got Korean eyes. It's just like blatantly racist. Like it's not even funny anymore. That would have been like funny in the 90s, but now it feels like I've heard that kind of line probably a million times at this point. Every fucking 15-year-old freestylist does that. So it's just a very lazy tape. Not great. But then we're gonna close out with one Robert has heard, the Internet's new record, Hive Mind. What'd you think?
At first, when I listened to this tape, I really thought I enjoyed it, and I was like, wow, that was really good. And I went back and looked over the tracks and listened to it again, and I realized that I didn't really remember most of it, you know? Mm-hmm. There were like, I think we agreed on the same like 3-ish tracks: Roll, Come Over, and La Di Da, all 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I really
second,
enjoyed.
Third, and fourth tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were really good, and the rest of it was it was fine, but it wasn't that memorable.
It's just very mediocre.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of the Internet, and I actually was pretty excited for this record, mostly coming off the hype of Roll and La Di Da, which were both singles beforehand. I was a big. La Di Da was Come Over a single as well?
Come Over was a single.
Oh, so yeah, all 3 singles were pretty decent. And then when I went into it, I heard the first one and I was like, a little iffy on Come Together. And then those 3 came and I was like, okay, I'm fucking with this. And then it just lost itself so quickly. Yeah. It's not bad. With the exception of a few tracks, like I think you know I was talking about what's the song called? The one we were talking about before.
Come Over?
No, Look What You Started. Look What You Started,
oh, yeah,
which I was saying sounds like someone who just found out what jazz is and wanted to make a jazz fucking. Yeah. It's just. And yeah, Sid sounds awkward as fuck throughout the whole record. I don't know. It's just it's not bad. Again, it's fine.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really it for albums. There wasn't a lot of albums recently.
Yeah.
So kind of like the summer album season's kind of slowing down a little bit. We're getting like the kind of the lull of the season. Now we're gonna go into tracks. But there actually were a lot of tracks this week.
Yeah.
These past 2 weeks, I guess. Yeah. So the first one is we're talking about Brockhampton's new track, 98 Truman. What did you think?
I loved it. Mm-hmm. It opens up with Merlin's chorus, and I don't know, I was really impressed. I just thought it really had me hooked on the song. Mm-hmm. And then it goes into Joba, and I thought Joba's verse was just fantastic, and it's honestly probably one of my favorite Joba verses ever, like to date. I just thought I don't know, I was just really impressed.
Yeah, it reminded me of a track off the first Saturation.
Yeah.
Just how aggressive and almost like weird and experimental it was. Like I was a little turned off by Wildfire because it sounded like they were kind of muting their tone. I liked the hook for sure, but I like Brockhampton at their most aggressive, when they almost sound like a 90s rock band, like a punk band. They're fucking going on the mic. And for sure, Joba was fucking insane on this track. Really, I think the best of the ones they've released so far. Fucking fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk about the end a little bit, how it kind of transitions into the Bareface, and then Kevin, his ending as well. I just thought it was, of course, it's a very aggressive track, but then it ends so sweetly.
Mm-hmm.
I just really just admired that, and I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, it was a fantastic track.
Yeah.
So what's up next? What's up next for us?
Fifi by 6ix9ine
featuring Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Boring trap song, terrible traps. Oh my god,
It's bad.
It was bad.
I think it honestly might be the worst 6ix9ine track yet. It's really truly awful. You just broke your phone case, Robert.
Yeah, my phone case just broke. I'm kind of sad.
Oh,
I really liked this case.
unfucking fortunate, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just, I don't know what Six was going for with this. I guess he was going for, like, that kind of emo trap vibe, like maybe like a Lil Peep style, trying to sing. Nicki wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but she just
Better-
didn't
better-
need to be here.
She's way better than 6ix9ine.
Exactly, yeah.
Still
She
wasn't
has
that-
talent.
Yeah.
And she's not, like, fading. She doesn't need to get money off a shit trap song. Like, she's got hype around her next record. Like, I've liked all the tracks she's put out, and then also been on recently. Like that Ariana Grande track that Nick and I talked about on the first episode. Her verse not's fucking crazy good. Chun-Li, she has some fucking crazy good flows on that. Even Barbie Tings, it wasn't as great, but still, she had bars. And her performance here, again, it isn't bad. It's just, I don't know what she's doing on here.
I don't know.
Yeah. We can move on. Fuck 6ix9ine.
Let's move on.
Bad person, bad musician. Fuck him.
I agree. I think...
Also, wait, as from this, have you seen 6ix9ine's legal troubles recently, actually?
I saw a picture of what he showed up to court in.
Yeah.
And I didn't look into what he was actually going to court for.
The boy got arrested at a fucking airport in New York.
For what?
Or no, in Dallas. Because he came back from Europe for, like, he beat the fuck out of a fan who, like, took a picture of him or some bullshit.
Wow.
And they, he fucking beat the fuck out of the dude, and he's, like, just not getting... And he was, like, all smug at court and shit. Like,
wow.
He's gonna go for that.
What an asshole.
Because the judge in court was like, I don't appreciate you thinking you're smug, thinking that you're better right now.
Yeah.
You're screwed. I need you to understand that.
Yeah,
And,
that's not how you treat a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how someone can be a
Like, you
fan
should
of
appreciate
him.
the fans you have left, man.
Yeah, because, like, I don't know how you can be a fan of him at this point. Or, honestly, I was never a fan, but... Yeah.
Because even, like, this track... I said we were over with it, but fucking, what I've always at least somewhat appreciated about 6ix9ine is how aggressive he is. He's never lost that. Like, he's always been loud and himself. I'll give it to them. On this, he just sounded bored, and like he's riding the wave right now. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
We'll move on now. Sorry.
His tracks are usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
And this one was exceptionally bad.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Haircutter.
Animal Collective.
Yeah.
Hated this.
Really?
I'll be honest, I hated this.
I thought it was pretty awesome, actually.
Okay.
It was really, I really appreciated. I listened to this with headphones, of course, and just the atmospheric, psychedelic, all the sound effects, like the water droplets and all of that stuff.
It's very ambient.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I just think, I mean, if you're going into it expecting, like, some...
I think, my issue with it are expectations, because...
Yeah.
Are you a Collective fan?
I have honestly never had listened
So
to that.
if I heard this song, and I'd never heard Animal Collective, I wasn't a massive fan of them, I would think it was an okay song. I can see why.
Yeah.
But knowing them and knowing they can do so much better than this...
Yeah.
Because it just sounded... It sounded lazy to me in comparison to what they've done. Because I don't judge artists in a vacuum. I don't like listen to a song and be like, oh, this is a good song, and then forget the rest of what they've done. But it's like, here, like they had some of the best ambient records of all time. The tape with My Girls on it is one of the best albums I've ever fucking heard. They're incredible. And to hear this, and I was like, it's fine. Just gave me a kind of put like a sour taste in my mouth for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta listen
But
to some of their other stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you would love them.
Yeah.
I think you would love them.
All right.
Yeah. Check them out. They're great.
Sounds good. Love It If We Made It, the
Mhm.
1975.
I like this a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm not a fan of the 1975. Can't talk today. But this track, it was aggressive. It was political. The vocals were a little yelpy,
Yeah,
but
the instrumentals were
great.
They were really good.
And the lyrics are really damn good, and very pointed, which surprised me because they're generally like a pretty like mediocre kind of generalized pop group.
Yeah.
And then to hear them just not even just like be like kind of cringily political, not just like being like, man, Trump's not great, that kind of thing. Like to instead be like, no, here is why he's a fucking bad person. I'm just like, I disagree with him politically. It's like, here's why he's a shit individual.
Yeah.
And like quoting him, talking about like, I go at him like a bitch, like using like that line from the now iconic Access Hollywood tape. I loved it a lot. It was just really. I saw the track on the new tracks list this week, and I was like, I'll check it out. Not excited, and then I came up and like, this is really good. It was just like maybe it's like surprise factor. Maybe eventually I'll kind of sour on it, but just coming off this first hearing it, I was really impressed.
Yeah, I was pretty much the same way. You had told me about the track, and you were like, yeah, it's really good. You should listen to it. And I saw that and I was like, oh man, sure, I'll listen to it. Like I was like, I'm not really expecting that much because I think I had liked a couple of their older tracks.
They just like,
but they're just not exceptional.
Just kind of
normally
radio pop hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with everything you said. I was impressed with this one.
Yeah.
Feels Like Summer and Summertime Magic. Childish Gambino.
Fuck these songs.
Really?
Did you like them?
I did like them.
Okay.
For what they are. They're not a huge political statement like This Is America.
Yeah.
They're not him going like hard like some of his older rap stuff like Bonfire, things like that.
Yeah.
But for like, as the songs suggest, for just like
They're
feels
breezy
good
as shit.
summertime songs, I appreciated them and I enjoyed them.
I think my issue with them is much the same about my issue with Haircutter, where it's I know he can do better, and to single out these tracks in particular. If I heard them on an album, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna listen to them again, but maybe they're working on of the album. But to hear them, like to know that he was confident enough to like release them individually, I was just like, the first one is fine.
Which one was first?
I think it's
Summertime Magic.
I think it feels like summer.
Feels Like Summer.
I think was the first.
I liked the the synths on Feels Like Summer.
Yeah.
Were the same synths that he used in Sober.
Yeah.
And
I noticed that.
I really liked that just because I like Sober.
His
a lot.
voice on there is good, but
yeah,
again,
the
like
falsetto vocals were nice.
But again, like knowing, like not even like looking at his, because I could be like hearing him drop his best song ever, This Is America, I think at least, and to be so political and aggressive and hype, and then to go to these that are more low key. Not even like that. I've heard him do this kind of sound before on Awaken My Love, and it was so much more impressive there.
Awaken My Love.
Exactly, like it was. Like I've heard him do this kind of summery soul funk vibe before, and these just felt like any other generic
Summer
SoundCloud, YouTube sound.
Yeah. I can kind of see what you're saying. At least for this track.
The second one I thought was awful.
Really, Summertime Magic?
I thought was unbearably bad.
I really enjoyed the like beat and stuff on this one because I thought it was really cool how he had the steel drums
also,
in it.
Yeah, the beat
and
was good,
the rain stick. All of that just made it feel very much like I was sitting on the beach, you know?
The beat was good. I thought his vocals had a lot to be desired.
His vocals, they were, I agree with that, but I still thought they were...
They're also just so repetitive to me.
Yeah, they were.
It felt like they could have been shorter.
The tracks were definitely repetitive and could have been shortened by a minute or two, but for what they are as like summer songs, I thought they were just nice summertime songs, you know?
Okay.
Like if I was at the beach hanging out with some friends or something.
It's good
I can
background
imagine.
music.
Yeah, I can imagine these songs on in the background.
Okay.
Clout Cobain, Denzel Curry.
Fire.
I loved this song so much.
Fucking fire.
Yes, yes.
Denzel Curry is one of the best rappers in the game right now. No holds barred.
And his album is coming
it's out soon. Yep.
July 27th.
Every track he's dropped so far has been fucking varied as hell. They all sound different. Comparing this to Gook, what the shit? Gook was that's one of the most aggressive, hard-hitting songs I've heard all year. And then Clout Cobain it's a new sound from it. It's like melodic, quiet, but still very damaged and very and the video for it, oh my god! And it's like him in clown makeup and people all around him dancing as he kills himself, and everyone's just watching. They're still dancing and whatever, and he's like, it's horrifying. And just like just that hook of like, I want to feel myself. You want me to kill myself? Like just like, it's just his voice worked weirdly. It
was good.
When I heard the beat and I was like, he's gonna be singing, isn't he? I was kind of worried.
Yeah.
It's like he's not a singing rapper in my head. And then the second that hook again, I was like, oh,
that was good.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite of the group here, actually. Honestly.
And I thought the lyrics were just
beautiful,
very beautiful, very interesting, especially with like
they sound tortured, which is what I like.
Yeah. Clear Tame, Igloo Ghost.
Yeah, Clear Tame, I think it's
Clear Tame, Igloo Ghost. Yeah.
It's a weird song.
It is.
I liked it though.
I agree. The beautiful opening, like was just with the and then the strings come in, and it just sounds so beautiful, and then it just transitions into this absolute insane.
Because he made up a fucking language. The dude made a fake language. What? You didn't know this?
I didn't know.
You didn't notice that?
I didn't know the language, but I didn't know it was a made up language.
Yeah, the lyrics, he basically just made up a full language for the song.
That is insane.
Oh
my gosh.
Like sentence structure, all that kind of shit. He basically just made this whole new language for a rap.
That makes it even better than I originally thought.
And I didn't know he had flow until now, because I've only ever heard his beats.
Yeah.
And his beats, we talked about Night Racer
that was
time.
That was him like
rapping. Yeah, that was him.
That is good.
He again. I said it last episode. He's one of the best producers in the game right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that he can rap too is really impressive to me, and the fact that he actually committed and made a whole new language.
That is insane. For one.
Yeah, I can't wait for this new album's gonna. Yeah, for one track.
Wow.
Apparently.
When is the Do you know when the album's coming out?
I think it's next month, maybe September.
I'm excited.
I'm very hyped. Yeah. Igloo Ghost, shout out.
Yes. Kung Fu.
YBN Corday.
Yeah.
I love this dude.
Yeah.
I love this dude.
I liked the track.
Yeah, because this is the first real single I've heard from him.
Yeah, I'd never heard him before this.
Because I heard his response track to that J. Cole song, the one that was sort of this in Lil Pump.
The 1985.
Yeah, that one, 85, yeah.
Yeah, 1985.
And he had a response where it was sort of the other perspective, like coming from the youth perspective.
Yeah.
Looking at J. Cole's thing and kind of criticizing that and being like, this, sure, your opinions, maybe they're, what's the word I'm looking for right now? Maybe they're valid, but also we have perspective too. And you look at that, and that was a really good response track. But then to hear him actually go with his own music now, he just goes hard. It's that hook. I can't do it. It's just too fast. But it's so impressive. He's got some mad bars on here too. But his and when I first saw him with the response track, I saw the YBN name, which always worries me, mostly because I love YBN Namir, but when I think of YBN, I still think of YBN Youngboy, who was just so awful. And when I saw YBN Corday, I was like, oh, is he gonna be one of these dudes? And then he's just crazy. I love him.
Yeah.
He sounds like Denzel Curry, a little bit. Like he's something more like the aggressive side of Denzel Curry. He does. And even like his like the art he did for the single cover looks like that too. He's album probably out this year.
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
Me too. Self-Care. Mac Miller.
What'd you think of this one?
I don't know. I had never really listened to Mac Miller before this, but I thought it was good. It was pretty long.
Yeah, it's
but
very long.
I really liked how emotional it was, and I thought the beat was good. I loved how like wavy it was.
Exactly.
And yeah, I thought it was solid.
Yeah, it didn't hit me as hard as the last 3 singles he dropped, in particular Programs.
I had never heard those.
I think it was on our last. It was on my top 10 list for the songs of the year. I thought that was a really great, aggressive, kind of hype rap song that reminded me of younger Mac, because his last record, I know some people liked it. I thought it was the whitest little sad boy rap album I'd heard. That it was when he was dating Ariana Grande.
Oh wow!
And it felt like sort of her influence when she was still not great in my eyes. It felt like a little bit of that, because his singing just was not on point then, and that was like a mostly singing record. There were a few decent tracks, like the one that had Anderson .Paak on it was really good. It was called like Dang. That was pretty good. But I love Mac Miller. I think he has a very distinctive voice. When you hear Mac Miller, you know it's Mac Miller, which I always appreciate. But I thought this was like an okay track. I loved the beat. I thought his singing was better than on the Divine Feminine. On the Divine Feminine, I can't talk. And lyrically, I think again it was very sad and very open, which is good for Mac Miller, because it's like when I heard the first 3, I was like, oh, these are great tracks, but I love when Mac's open. I love when he's kind of talking about his pain, and it worked here mostly. Yeah. I think it could have been shorter, but outside of that, I think it was a pretty solid track. The album's out soon too.
Yeah,
I think I'm probably gonna go see him on tour.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's touring with Jid.
Oh.
And Thundercat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's in DC in November. Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably album in October, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
21 Pilots. Jumpsuit.
And Nino and the Niners or something?
Nico and the Niners.
Nico and the Niners.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
But I mean,
the second one I thought was really repetitive.
Yeah.
I liked Jumpsuit, I'll be honest.
I liked it.
I can't think of it's one of them, like I've never liked any of their songs.
Really?
Yeah.
I like some of their older songs. Like I feel like listening to a couple of their songs is good, but if you listen to it too much, it just gets a bit old, because it's the same. Yeah, they're all pretty much the same. But
I have the same distaste for them that I have for like Panic at the Disco.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of like just very angsty emo teen bands. I just can't really get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like some of Panic at the Disco.
Really?
Like some of their older.
I like Brandon Urie as a singer.
Yeah, he's
I just like can't get into their lyrics.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
The lyrics are just kind of
but yeah, Jumpsuit I thought was nice. It was harder than usual. It felt a little more old school. I liked the production on there. I liked their voices. I could not tell you what their names are.
Oh no, I don't know either.
Yeah. But yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
The second Nico, I was
Nico
not
and
a
the
fan.
Niner. No, yeah. I agree. I thought the synths were cool, but
yeah.
Other than that,
yeah,
it was all right. And those are the only ones I listened to.
The one you listened to?
Other than unless you wanted to talk about potato salad.
Yeah, you can go talk about that. I don't know much about it, so you can talk.
All right, Tyler the
I liked
Creator,
it, but I can't talk about it that much.
A$AP Rocky song, and the video was filmed in Paris in front of the Eiffel Tower. Jaden Smith was in the video.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually in the track, but
I feel like he's gonna be on the album.
Yeah.
A little bit of he's gonna be on the album.
I'm not sure if there's gonna be an album, but I really want there to be an album. At the end of the video, it did say.
I mean, eventually, there's gonna be an album eventually.
Coming soon. It says coming soon. Wang Saf coming soon. I don't know.
I feel like he might just stealth drop it.
That would be awesome.
Knowing him recently, I feel like he's just gonna drop it one day.
And yeah, that would be awesome.
Who's he signed to?
Tyler?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's not indie, I know that.
Yeah.
He signed to somebody, but I can't think of who.
Yeah.
Maybe RCA? Maybe RCA.
Yeah, let me check. Hold on.
I'm not sure.
Odd Future Records.
Oh, does he have the indie label?
Let
me see.
Labels. Currently Columbia.
Oh, he's Sony.
Odd Future.
Yeah, he's Sony. Yeah, he's Sony. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, this track I thought was really good. I thought some of the lyrics were funny, like it's not a purse, it's a satchel.
Yeah.
That's funny. I thought what else was funny? Crap, I'm blanking out. It was
good, though.
It was a really good track.
Really good.
And I thought the video was pretty funny. Like at the end he's like, yeah, I don't got any more cool things to do.
Yeah.
I just love Tyler, and I thought A$AP Rocky was really good on this as well.
Yeah, I think Rocky works with Tyler like really well.
Yeah,
like with Who Dat Boy.
I know they've been hanging out a lot too.
Yeah,
I see I follow Tyler on.
I wasn't a fan of Rocky's record recently.
No, it was bad. Yeah. I didn't like it, but I thought
except for the closing track, which is like a straight masterpiece.
Yeah.
And when I heard Purity, the closing track, I was like, oh, it's a good album.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, no, it wasn't. That was just a great song. At the very he almost tricks you at the end with that Frank Ocean feature.
Yeah. That's the other thing. He says I don't rock Chanel, I rock Channel.
Yeah.
Is he talking about
Frank Ocean?
Frank Ocean? Is Frank Ocean going to be on this? Like,
yeah,
that would be.
I think he will be.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But that would just be awesome.
I want to hear Rex Orange County on this one too.
Yeah, I love Rex Orange County. Boredom is so good. Forward as well. I really
great.
I love that. I love Rex Orange County in general, not just like on these rap features and stuff.
Great singer.
He's great. His album Apricot Princess is wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful album.
So the last three songs we're gonna talk about real quick, because I don't have much to say about them. I like them though. Is the two new Lemon Twigs singles, If You Give Enough and Small Victories. So they have the album art already out, and on it says like a musical by Lemon Twigs, and these songs sound like they're out of a musical. And I liked how kind of sweet they were, how almost innocent they sounded, but then the production really does sound like it's like out of like Katz or something like that, like out of like an old like I can't think of the guy's name. Fucking play. The guy that did Katz. I can't think of the guy's name. Yeah, like they were very good. I don't like love them, but they were good. And then lastly, Metric is back with their new track Dark Saturday. I thought Metric for the past few years kind of lost their sound. I'm a big Metric fan generally, but what?
Sorry, I have these.
Oh, okay. But this track I liked a lot. It was very hard, very aggressive. I mean, their some of their older tracks are great, and to hear them get back to that noise is awesome. Yep, it's good. So then we have like 4 movies I want to talk about real quick, and then we're just gonna move into just talking in general. But the first one is Bo Burnham's new film, his directorial debut, 8th Grade. I was blown away by this movie. It's so precisely written, so specifically acted, and to know that this is a story about a girl going through a 2018 8th grade life, written by a dude who's almost 30, again a guy, and this is like a very specifically female story, and it comes from a guy, and him to do it so well and so accurately, for a generation he's not a part of, is miraculous to me. It captures the terror and the horror of 8th grade, of the very end of 8th grade particularly. And Elsie Fisher, who is the lead in this, is just so great. All the kids are great. It captures that great awkwardness, like talking to this dude she likes about nudes, and she's like trying to look up what a blowjob is, and her relationship with her dad, who's a single parent, is really great. Josh Hamilton plays the dad. He's fantastic in it. There's so many great set pieces. Like, there's a fantastic pool party. That scene where it's just like it's the best horror scene of 2018. It's just terrifying, and it's a great movie. It's sweet, and it knows what it wants to do, and I was blown away by it. It's fantastic. Then one that I didn't love as much, but I still liked a lot, was Unfriended Dark Web. I liked the first Unfriended a lot, but this one is very different. I would never call it a horror movie. It's more like a cyber thriller, and it's just so well put together. I like that in this one the characters aren't standard horror movie here. Like in the first one, I hated everyone. So like when they died, I didn't really have that much attachment to them. It was well constructed scares, but I was never like, oh, sad to see him go. But in this one, as they all, and they're gonna die. It's a thriller. They're gonna die. That isn't a spoiler. As they all slowly get picked off, I cared for each of them because they're all good people. And there's some really ridiculously well constructed set pieces here. One involving swatting, which is one of the best things in this year. And there's a fan-fucking-tastic twist at the end that blew me away. And then the next one I'll talk about is one of my personal favorites of the year so far. It's Carlos Lopez Estrada, who directed a few music videos. He did the Mr. Tillman video this year. It's his directorial debut, and it's written by David Diggs and Rafael Cassell. It's called Blind Spotting. It's this really fantastic story about Oakland and gentrification and the cyclical nature of crime. It's about a guy on his last 3 days of probation, trying to just not get back in the system. He has like curfew, all that kind of bullshit, and like do his menial tasks. And in one of the first scenes of the film, he witnesses a police shooting, in which a 26-year-old guy gets killed. And it's just like it's very specifically written again, like eighth grade, where it speaks from a very specific perspective, one that I wasn't familiar with, one that I'm glad I am now, at least in this small essence. It's so ridiculously well edited, and David Diggs is Oscar worthy in this movie. There's one scene near the end in particular that I won't touch on, but it is one of the best acted scenes of the year. He's a great rapper. If you want to check out his group Clipping, he freestyles throughout the whole movie in certain scenes, and it's insane. Some of the best bars of the year. If you want to check out the EP he dropped, In Character, from the movie, it's one of the best albums of the year. I think it's fan-fucking-tastic. It's like 8 songs, 25 minutes. Some of the best Oakland rap you've heard this year. Sorry, what?
What's it called?
It's called Blind Spotting, the Colin EP. I think I told you about it. Maybe I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
It's like really hardcore, old school, aggressive Oakland rap.
You told me
Yeah. It's a great movie. And also there's like so many great lines, like when Rafael Cassell is watching the news with his wife and kid, and there's the police shooting on the news, and you see that like the guy's like a former felon. So he's like, convicted convict, you didn't get the right cocktail, man. Talking about like how we only have sympathy for guys that haven't gone to prison. Yeah. You have to be like a perfect angel if you're going to get killed for us to actually riot for you.
Right.
And it was a very sad but also really enjoyable and funny movie. I think maybe my personal favorite of the year. It for sure has some issues with a little pacing, but the ending it was a little inconclusive, but just personally, I really enjoyed this movie. Check it out for sure. And then lastly, I want to talk about a movie called Searching. It's out August 3rd, but I got the chance to go to a screening of it, and it's brilliant. It's a debut from a guy named Agnieszka Shagnati. It premiered at Sundance. It's got John Cho in it from Star Trek and Columbus and a bunch of other great movies. And he it's all set on the screens we use every day, so computers, phones, tablets, TVs, helicopter cameras, all kinds of devices. And it's the story of a guy who's looking for his missing daughter. And don't read anything about it. Just go in and see it, because there's so many twists, so many turns that you don't see coming out of nowhere. But they're also very, if you look, it's incredibly detailed. There's all these tiny little details in the background that if you notice them, you can kind of key in. And he reminds me of like a young David Fincher with like how cold and specific he is with his background details. It's really good. I'd recommend it. So that's the end of our review segment. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna go into our just kind of discussion section, I guess. All right, thanks guys. Bye. All right, welcome back. So for this week, for this section, we wanted to talk about maybe some underappreciated, which in my mind means that they're well known, at least in some circles, but they don't really get the credit they deserve. And then some underknown or just underheard artists that we kind of want to give a voice to a little bit to our fucking tiny audience.
Huge audience after this episode.
For sure. What are your picks? I think we should do underappreciated first. What are your picks for those?
Underappreciated?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with my boy Mac DeMarco. He has such a distinct sound to him, and like when you're listening to one of his songs, right at the beginning with a strong guitar lead, like a very nice like indie guitar riff or something like that, you just know it's one of his songs. And I just think his style is really good, and he's a great guy.
Yeah,
and
he's really funny. He's like a nice guy.
He's hilarious, and I just I can't think of one song by him that I don't like.
Yeah,
like I just love all of his music.
Yeah,
and I mean,
that's weird. I can't think of one either.
Exactly, his older stuff is just.
I'm sure there's at least one, but I can't think of one.
Yeah,
like one that I've downright hated. I can't think of one.
Yeah. I mean, his older stuff with was more like guitar riff, like, and one of the things,
he was a little more garage rocky at first. Yeah, and
then with This Old Dog, it got a little bit more. It was really just an emotional album.
So why do you think he's underappreciated in that sense? Because people generally like him, at least.
Well, I just feel like people like him, like, yeah, he's good at guitar, you know, like, yeah.
They don't really appreciate.
They don't really appreciate like the lyricism,
how experimental he is.
How experimental it is. How he mixes his music by using tapes. He cuts the tapes and everything. Like he's
very old school.
Yeah, very old school in that sense. And I just think that because of that, he has just a very distinct sound. And
I think it's mostly because his sound became so popular so quickly, and then so many people like bit that style.
Yeah,
it became the biggest thing on Bandcamp and SoundCloud to just get any Mac DeMarco sound. They're almost like the fucking it's like the SoundCloud trap scene, but for like indie rock.
Yeah.
Or Mac DeMarco knockoffs.
Yeah.
And so people might hear them and be like, oh, and if you hear one of them first and then you hear Mac DeMarco, you're like, oh, it's just like that guy's sound.
Yeah.
Because you don't know that's where it came from. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. One I wanted to highlight. There's two on mind. These are both rappers, but one is Kevin Gates, Baton Rouge trapper, and I think people know Kevin Gates. I don't think they listen to Kevin Gates enough. People have heard maybe Two Phones or I Don't Get Tired, which are great fucking hardcore deep south trap songs, but they haven't heard maybe enough of his material to know. Like if you listen to his 2016 record Isla, it's an incredible album, which is Isla as Arabic for to change, and it's the name of his daughter because she changed him. But like songs like Hard For, which is one of my personal favorite songs actually, because he took the lyricism that he's always had with his rap and then made like a soft rock song, basically. And like he's the only artist I know who could make a song with the chorus, "You're the only one my dick could get hard for." He could take that and make it this incredibly sweet, loving tribute to love. And there's some incredible beats, which is there's some incredible drops. I just think he's really underappreciated. And and then the other one I'll talk about is YB and Namir, because I think when you, again, I was talking about him earlier with YB and Corday, when you hear that YBN name and then you see him, you see he's 16 years old, immediately, yeah, exactly, right? your mind instantly goes to Pump. It instantly goes to any other mumbly SoundCloud guy, and then you hear him, and he's legit as shit. He's got bars, he's got flow, and he speaks from a very legit perspective. Growing up in Alabama, and then like songs like "Rubbing Off the Paint," where like again, that's a very specific detail of hood life, is like literally scratching the serial number off guns. Like that's something that he knows and that he's lived with. He just makes songs about it. I think he's a really honest artist. I like him a lot. Yeah. And then also one more guy I wanted to say, it's pretty controversial. 21 Savage.
21 Savage?
21 Savage. I like 21 Savage.
Really?
And here's my reason for it.
All right.
Again, it's because of YBN. Whenever I hear someone like Lil Yachty or Uzi, they come from a perspective that it sounds to me like they haven't lived the life. Maybe they have, but it sounds like they talk. It sounds awkward. It sounds like you talk about the life and maybe you've lived it, but you don't know how to talk about it. 21 always sounds cold as a motherfucker. He's scary. Yeah. He's a scary ass fucking dude. And he's, again, I respect honesty in music. And I've never heard a 21 song where I was like, oh, you're bullshitting me, right? Like, I've always heard his music and been like, oh yeah, this is your life. I understand you. And sure, does he lack some lyrical talent occasionally? Yeah. That line about like being single like a Pringle, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. These fucking Pringles are in fucking groups. But I think he has an honest perspective, and I think his beats are almost always good. He works with good producers. Metro Boomin produced a lot of his shit. Yeah. And I like that tape he has with Metro and Offset. The Without Warning tape is a really good tape from last year, I think. But I don't know. It's for sure controversial. I mean, a lot of people think he's like one of the worst voices in trap right now. Like Robert does. Yeah. But I don't know. It's something about his sound that I like. Like I can't really, it's hard to explain why I appreciate him, but yeah.
I think he has a cool voice, like the deeper, like
he sounds scary.
Yeah, he does sound scary, but I mean, I don't know. It's controversial.
I can get why.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it is not a popular opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one more person that I think is popular but kind of deserves more recognition, I think, is Ski Mask the Slump God.
Fuck yeah.
I think that he is...
It's a perspective thing.
Yeah, because you look at this guy, you know, he has face tattoos, and you're like, oh, this is just another one of those SoundCloud mumble rappers, going to be terrible. But his flows are so precise and meticulous. Like, it's just great. And then his lyrics are always filled with like just funny references to cartoons and stuff, and like a soccer mom. That beat is the Codename Kids Next Door beat. I mean, it's just things like that, and I think he's pretty popular, but I just feel like he's not appreciated as much as he should be because he's just great. I don't know. I always like listening to his tracks lyrically. Sometimes, they're not anything profound, but just the way
not every rapper has to be profound, which is a good, like I learned that a few years ago because I was always bumping fucking Kendrick, and I love Kendrick, but not every rapper has to be conscious.
Kendrick.
And if you've got a good flow and if you're funny,
which Ski Mask check both of those boxes.
Put a rap together.
Yep.
He's great. Yeah, I agree. And then we're gonna go and do some underknown artists. Who are your picks?
Okay, I'm not. Can I ask?
Yeah, you can just ask.
Okay, so do you think King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's underknown?
Yeah.
I think.
I think they're big if you're into that scene.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure, because I'm not like I think of them as pretty big,
but like that scene is very niche.
Anyway.
Yeah.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Fantastic from Australia. I was watching. I always have kind of appreciated them, but
the Australian scene is so good right now. So
they're
I love that group right now.
Yeah, and I was just watching a video. I was kind of thinking like, man, they're really good. I just can't figure out why. Not every single, but most of the records they put out are just completely different.
Mhm.
Like they have
And the
so
fact-
many
but they're
different
also,
genres.
They're also so all off the wall.
Yeah,
They're just so fucking weird.
they are.
Yeah.
And they're all very, cohesive and everything.
Mhm.
And I mean, last year, 5 albums. I think I liked all 4 of them, or 4 of them, and then there was one, I forget which one. It wasn't as good, but it was still pretty good, I
Yeah.
thought.
I agree.
Might have been,
maybe the different ones, but I think I liked 4 of them as well.
Yeah. Especially they released one for free.
Yeah.
The Polygon, that one, I mean, that's a great album. And I love how cohesive all of their
That was
music
the best
is.
of the 5. I
And
think.
the guy in this video I was watching described it in what I think is a perfect way.
Mm.
You can wake up in the morning and think, what artist do I want to listen to now? Like, what am I feeling? But you can also wake up and think, what King Gizzard do I want to listen to today?
Exactly.
Like, because they have so much variety and they pump out so much music and it's all consistently good,
Mm.
And I think it's great. And I kind of want to tie this into another one of my underrated picks because King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard actually did a collaboration with them with Brunswick East, their album with Mild High Club last year.
Oh, okay.
Mild High Club, I think.
I feel like they have one song that everyone knows.
Mild High Club?
Yeah, What You Know.
Oh. Does everyone know that song?
Yeah, that has like 500 million plays on Spotify or something. It's like a crazy high number of plays on Spotify.
Oh wow, I did not realize that.
Yeah, but otherwise,
Well, I think their
underknown.
records, they have I can think of 2, and especially their newest one, which I think came out in 2016, Skip Tracing. That
was a while ago. Yeah,
it was. It's a wonderful record.
I think Nick actually introduced me to them.
Really?
What did I...
Mild High Club.
No.
Yeah, I hadn't heard them before, and you showed them to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. This album, Skip Tracing, at the beginning it's more of your traditional like kind of indie rock with a little bit of a jazzy twist to it, and it transitions in the middle of the album. There is hold up, I'm trying to pull up the track list right now, but in the middle of the album there is a song called Who Done It, and it is just this crazy drum, like just if you kind of listen to it on the surface, it's a bit more of it would just sound like drum noise. But if you really listen to it with context of the album, it's just kind of like this whole freak out, like
I agree,
craziness.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the album is just more like psychedelic, like kind of a recovery.
Exactly.
And then it ends the album with the Skip Tracing reprise, which is just a very, very short kind of thing of from the first track, which is the title of the album, Skip Tracing. The first track, Skip Tracing.
Yeah.
The last track is Skip Tracing reprise, which is just kind of it has a lot of similar elements of Skip Tracing, and I love how the same themes kind of flow throughout this album cohesively, and it's just
but
beautiful.
sonically it's so different.
Yeah,
Which is why I love them, because they can put together a radio hit like What You Know, but then also almost all of the songs are weird as fuck. Like they're just but they're also again like King Gizzard.
Yeah.
They all sound so unique to themselves. They all sound so separate of themselves, but then again also flow cohesively, which is the hardest task an artist has, is to make songs that sound sonically, lyrically, vocally different from each other, but then still allow them to work together in unison.
Yeah.
It's so difficult, particularly for a pop band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the song that you said was really popular?
What You Know.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's called What You Know. I could be wrong though.
I don't think that's what it's called.
Maybe I'll look. I will look this up for you.
Because I'm looking up.
Wait, no.
I don't. I'm looking.
It's
I looked up What You Know.
I think it's
That was the wrong one.
Is it? I think it's like what? It's like what something. Mild High Club. I'm thinking of
You're
it.
thinking about the wrong one.
I'm thinking of Two Door Cinema Club right now. I'll be honest. I just realized that.
Yeah, I was really confused.
Yeah,
by it.
no, that's
Yeah.
not. I was like, Because I don't remember
it's
any of their tracks being very popular.
I was following you on Mild High Club the whole time, but then for some reason I attached the one song they have, like the one song the Doodle Cinema Club has. I attached that one song to Mild High Club for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But
no, that's not. I don't think Mild
that's
High
weird.
Club has any like super,
No,
super popular
their
songs.
biggest hit on Spotify is Homage.
Oh, that's. Yeah, I love that song.
That song.
It's off of Skip Tracing.
Yeah.
Second track on the album.
Their last album was probably the biggest one they've had, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their first album, which blanking on what it's
I
called,
can look for it.
but it has like the blue
Timeline.
Yeah, that album's also fantastic. It's the same idea where it's just
Oh, I love that art.
very abstract. Oh yeah, the album arts for both of them I think are
With the broken bottle.
fantastic.
The spilled bottle's great.
Yeah, and I also love the art on Skip Tracing.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like a little like
It's like a Picasso painting, very
Yeah.
abstract. Yeah.
yeah, and but I just love
They're out of
how
the 20s.
cohesive but how unique everything is from them.
Yeah.
And I just think they're really underrated and underappreciated. And
I
think
fucked up there. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird because like I knew Skip Tracing. I was following you on that, and then when but for some reason I just attached that exact, like it wasn't even like other songs, just like that one song. I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's these guys for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
that's fine. But yeah,
Yeah.
they're fantastic,
funny.
underrated. One more band that I would like to kind of put spotlight on. One of my favorite bands, the Buttertones.
Yep.
They are
Talked about them last time. Yeah.
wonderful. I
Yeah.
love the Buttertones. I mean, all of their records are pretty different. They the thing about them, I was like their songs are often very. They're more of a movie genre than a actual genre for music. Like they I remember on SoundCloud where I found them, they would tag their songs like Western or something like that, like rather than an actual musical genre. And so I just think that's very interesting, and it's just really good. If you're looking for good surf rock,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. And their first LP, Buttertones, the self-titled, is really good. They have songs like Orpheus Under the Influence, Dionysus, Reminiscing. All of those are great. American Brunch is really good. They have some really aggressive tracks like Dax Back with that wonderful like the guitar
Yeah.
riff right at the beginning. And then they have sweet moments like Baby Doll and Darling. Oh crap! It's some Darling. I Need Time, but I don't really know why. And that's off their
that
newest
was their
album.
it was this year.
That's off
Yeah.
of Midnight in a Moonless Dream. And their record from last year, Grave Diggin'.
Yeah.
Grave Diggin' is one of my favorite songs still. It's a wonderful song. It starts off very quiet with the and then it just gets loud, and then it builds up, and then it just erupts into this wonderful. I just love it. I think they deserve more attention.
That's great. They're also great. Yeah. I have like a lot that I want to go through, but I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire. I'm not gonna get super in detail on them.
Okay.
One I love called Algiers, super great punk rock, hella political rock group, so sort of metalish. Check out their album from 2017 called The Underside of Power, I believe it's called. Fan-fucking-tastic. This one fantastic rap group I love out of LA right now called Villain Park. They sound so old school, and I love their current sound. I'm having a list that I'm going through right now. People like Torre, if you want like some really, really great Torre and Fonte. If you want some like amazing New York conscious rap right now. Let me see. I'm like looking at my playlist that I use a lot, trying to find people that I think people don't know that well. Someone that's kind of blowing up right now, Cuz, who he signed to Dreamville under J. Cole. He has a really good record this year called, I believe it's called Questions, but I could be wrong about that. That was like the first single he got called Questions. It's a great Cole verse on one of the tracks. Another Dreamville guy, he's kind of blowing up now, and I'm glad about, JID, Jid. listen to his album, The Never Story. It's one of the best albums of the decade. Fucking perfect album. His flows are so technical, and his lyricism, again, is like so honest, but then also weirdly poetic. I love him right now. Check out it's one guy it's called Car Seat Headrest. Their album this year, Twin Fantasy, fucking fantastic. He was on Bandcamp for years and years ago, and it kind of blew up off that. And then he kind of went back and just like redid the record, basically fixed a lot of the vocals, a lot of the production. I listened to a guy named Open Mike Eagle, fantastic kind of funky rapper right now. I don't know where he's out of. I can't think. Maybe Chicago, but I could be wrong there. Listened to his album last year, Brick Body Kid Still Daydream. There's a fantastic song on there called 95 Radios, and also one called My Grandmother's Basement, which are great. It's one that I went like really into last episode, Lucy Dawkins. You love him as well, Robert. Just such an incredible vocalist. I love her. Let me see. Also from last episode, Young Fathers, their new tape, Cocoa Sugar, is just so fucking weird. I love them. People might know this guy. It's called Katz. He does a lot of beats, but then also every now and then he'll do some vocal work. There's a really great track off his most recent album called Glowed Up. The record's called 99.9%. That one features Anderson .Paak, who I'm always in for. I'm also someone that's kind of underappreciated, actually. I forgot to mention him in that section. He's I feel people know him, but they don't listen to him enough. Mount Erie. I love Mount Erie. Listen to Mount Erie all the time.
Yes.
As long as you have to be in the right mindset for it, though, for sure. Because I mean, his last album is soul crushing.
So good.
It's great, but like,
I love it,
dude.
But yeah.
Oh my god, just the opening track alone, Real Death. That line about the backpack getting delivered, a gift for a future you must know you wouldn't be here for. About his wife, like
that's just so sad.
Let me see. This is difficult because I'm trying to think people like the ones that like really aren't known. One that I love, Lou the Human. If you look at him, he's like a little white dude with like super dyed up like red or orangish hair. You look at it, you think trashy SoundCloud guy. In fact, when he did his pitch for the XXL cover, it had like a ton of dislikes because no one knew him, and all they just saw him and they were like, "Oh fuck, he's a fucking bad SoundCloud rapper, fuck him." But listen to his record, Humaniac. It is so fucking dope. Just how insane, off the wall, aggressive, controversial. He doesn't give a single fuck. I think he's one of the best rappers alive right now. I wish he'd made XXL. Let me see. Let me get just one more guy in here. We'll pick a random one. Okay. Check out Speedy Ortiz. Speedy Ortiz is actually, I'll get two more real quick. Speedy Ortiz is a really great California kind of surf rock group. They sound very chilled out, very mellow, but they have incredible fucking production and a great voice. Speedy Ortiz. Check them out.
I like surf rock.
And then also one last one is a British garage rock group called Wunderbar. Their last record was last year, I believe. I think it might have been self-titled, but I will check that real quick. But they are fucking fantastic. They sound so off the cuff, and just it was called Smell Smoke. Came out 2017. Tracks like Acetone, Harvest. Let me see. It's like Three Money Signs is a good track. Hold a Light's really good too. They're just so like aggressive, but then when you hear their vocals, it's very chilled out. My like for sure they're a very new group, and they're very low budget. You can tell because like for sure that they need some mixing help. But if you want to hear, it sounds like music in the making. And if you're interested in that kind of experimental garage rock, for sure check them out. I think that's enough recommendations. Probably I just wanted to get a lot out there. Yeah, that is it for that section. And so now we're just going to move into our story section. So Robert can go first.
Yes, I have a good story.
All right.
So, I think it's a good story.
We'll see, I guess.
So I do orchestra. I play the viola, and I really love it. But we do this thing every year called assessment, right? And it's where we go to a school, and we play for some judges. And this year, in particular, we actually went to assessment early because there was some weird scheduling thing with the bus drivers and stuff where we had to go early. So we were just sitting there in the cafeteria for hours, pretty much just waiting to go. And my friend had to use the restroom, of course, so we just decided to go. We all went just because we were like, whatever, like, we're bored. So we go to the bathroom, and he had to take a dump. So he tries opening the first stall, right? And he's like, it's locked. So we figure someone's in there. Tries the second stall. Nope. Locked. Third stall. And we're like, some asshole, like, locked all the stalls from the inside, right? So he goes to the last stall, and he just grabs the top of the door and just starts shaking it. And there's this kid inside. He must have been in middle school or something. He just goes, "Stop!" with the most, like, loud, shrill stop you've ever heard. We all just freak out and just leave immediately. We just run out of the bathroom cracking up. And then we went back in and we waited, and we tried to, like, apologize because we felt kind of bad for this kid. But at that point, I think he just thought we were, like, bullying him or something. So he was just kind of like, he didn't even wash his hands. He just left really quickly. And we all felt really bad.
Wow.
And
that's
the whole story.
That is deeply depressing.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
I feel bad for that kid.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for that kid, too. We thought someone just locked all the stalls from the inside, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Fuck. Mine is... this isn't a story about me. It's more a story about someone that I saw. So I was at the gym one day, and basically there's this one guy that goes to the gym I'm at right now, and he's this big dude. His name is Darius. Imagine a dude named Darius, right? It's just, the dude's easy 6'6.5", 6'7". I'd probably clock him at, like, I don't know, 310 to 300 pounds. He's a fucking big dude, right? And whenever he comes in, because he doesn't come in often, because it's kind of like his side gym, really. So he comes in, whenever he's there, we all, like, fucking watch this dude. Like, we all, like, gather around him because he's a fucking impressive, right? And he comes in on that day, and he has this kind of voice, it's, like, very, like, gravelly kind of, right? So he comes in and he goes, "Yo, what the fuck's up, guys? Today, I'm squatting 630, right? The most I can squat is like 300, and that's like one rep, okay? So the dude comes in, he's like, "I'm gonna squat 630, I'm gonna do it." And we're all like, "Okay, Darius." We're kind of like laughing like this. I mean, we've seen him get to like 570, maybe. We're right. Maybe he's been gone for like a week though. Maybe he's gotten bigger. We don't fucking know. We're watching. He goes to the squat rack, or so he did like some basic stretching, like that kind of shit first, like just kind of got into the groove. Walks over to the squat rack. We're all gathered around in a circle around the rack, and he goes to squat. He gets all the way down, fucking almost ass to floor.
Holy shit.
And the second he goes up, he just fucking projectile vomits all over the fucking wall in front of him.
Oh.
He's going back up. He fucking squats it, wipes his mouth, and just goes, 630, bitches. 630. And I'll never fucking forget it. And it was weird, because I was, like, literally, like, I think maybe 2 weeks later, I was listening to Cody Ko and Noel Miller's podcast, Tiny Meat Gang, and they had a joke, like, it was, like, an exaggerated joke about, like, the literal scenario I'd seen, where it was about a guy it's like a guy that goes in the gym and he squats 680, and then he, like, shits himself and pisses and pukes everywhere. So I was like, I'll never forget this dude that I just, like, looked up to and was so fucking impressed by, just fucking projectile vomiting over and then not giving a fuck. Just being like, 630. I'm like, Yeah, it's a pretty. It was just a weird moment in my life.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but it was worth it, honestly. Whoever the fucking cleaner is there, though, sorry for him, I guess.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, 'cause it was a lot. It was a lot.
All over the walls and shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I don't think I've ever actually seen like steady stream projectile vomit ever in my life, but it was like fucking Exorcist level, just fucking. No, it was. No.
Oh man.
Yeah. Both of our stories, we have someone we feel bad for, I guess.
Yeah. I accidentally bullied a kid and someone on your.
It's on my jam to clean that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feels bad.
Yeah, well, that's podcast life for you. It always results in depression.
Yep.
So anyway, that was our podcast for the week. We had our back this week. Did you have fun this time as well?
I did have fun this time as well.
That's great. We'll be back in sometime. We'll see who the guest is next week. We'll let you know, or probably honestly, with how fucked up our schedule is, probably 2 weeks from now. We'll be honest. Probably gonna be a bi-weekly podcast. But yeah, we'll see you then. All right. Thanks for listening again. Episode 3, Mintcast. We're out.
Bye.